Hello, I'm here with Kent and Mary from our Career Service Division, and they'll be asking some questions for us today. The first question that I will be asking, do you believe the jobs today are shifting to the industrial age or service age?
Well, I think it definitely is, because many years ago, focused on production. It's all about producing cars and components and manufacturing these big items, factories. Now we've come to an age where companies are outsourcing a lot for their needs. When something breaks, they outsource. People come in, they take care of that service, they provide great customer service, and they've got those specialized skills that they can do the job effectively and efficiently.
Do you believe focusing on skills in a specialized field is beneficial?
Well, I will start with answering that question. Yes, coming to a school like this, you're honing your skills to what you're interested in, which really it helps focus you. It keeps your interest, and when you're here, you're specifically working on hands-on experience that you can directly bring to a position in the field. So there's in a traditional school, you get a lot of classes that you're forced to take, forced electives, etc., and you're not quite as engaged. And this way gets you in, train you, give you the certifications that you need and the experiences that you need, so you can really help contribute right away on a job site, which makes you that much better of a candidate.
Another question. What do you think that someone needs today to get a job?
I think that the most important thing that the students here could benefit from, first of all, is certifications. I think that focusing on, going back to the skills in a specialized field, once you get certifications that are within your field and you're out looking for a job that's in your field, with those certifications and the hands-on experience that you're getting in school, that's certainly going to help you get through the door. A good resume, a good cover letter, good interviewing practice, and we offer all of that to our students. So I think that just definitely getting to know us and career services and utilizing everything that we have to offer is going to be a great way for, a great start for someone to get a job.
And that actually leads into our next question. What do you feel are the 5 most important tips for interviews?
Well, I think first and foremost, it's being prepared, which involves dressing professionally, getting to the interview before you're supposed to be there, because a lot of times you've got to fill out applications. Being prepared with knowledge about the company you're interviewing for, because they're always going to ask you, what do you know about XYZ Corporation? You've got to have an answer, and you've got to have questions to ask, so it shows that you're prepared for the interview. A lot of times, if you don't have any questions, or if you don't engage the person that's interviewing anything more than what they've asked, it kind of shows a disinterest on your part, or it shows that you weren't really prepared, which is a negative. And I think I've mentioned 4 or 5, but also is closing the interview. It's asking for the job. You've got to close. You can't just leave it as, okay, thanks, look forward to hearing from you. It's, look, I'm extremely interested in this position. I have all the skills. I'm ready. I've been trained. This is what I want to do, and I really look forward to hearing back. And then even asking the question, when do you think I might hear back? And giving them the ball, and so they can tell you, well, we expect to get back to you by Friday, so you have a time that you don't have to guess when you should follow up, which is another important thing, is to follow up. But then if you haven't heard anything by Friday, then it's time to follow up, because that's when they told you they're going to call you.
And I'd like to add one thing to that too, actually. I think one of the most important things that Kent didn't touch on is knowing exactly what the position entails that you're going into interview for. Have an understanding of the skills that they're looking for, and be prepared to discuss how to route a network, or, you know, be prepared to discuss whatever the position entails in detail with your potential new employer.
It's like preparing for a test.
Yeah.
If you cram or if you don't study, you're probably you might not fail, but you're not gonna be the best grade. So with interviewing, if you prepare properly, A, it's gonna reduce the stress level because you're gonna be prepared. And B, it just makes the interview go that much smoother because you're prepared with questions, you're prepared with information, and knowing the position is a big help. And not only that, it's just having fun with the interview, like being comfortable enough to ask questions and build that rapport. And so you kind of flip it. So they start off interviewing you, asking you questions, and then all of a sudden they give you that entry to ask them a question, and then you flip it, and you ask them another question, and all of a sudden they're talking about how they got to their position, how long they've been with the company, and then it makes it really easy for you because then you're kind of sitting back going like, oh yeah, that's great, that's really cool, and then you're just kind of conversing, having a good conversation, and then you feel so much better.
Thank you. That was very good information. What advice would you give a potential or future career seeker?
Be patient. Definitely number one. With the way that the economy is now, with you know, because certainly there are companies that are always hiring, but with different areas and different fields, you have to be patient. You have to be persistent, and just make sure that you're prepared. I think it goes back to the interviewing tips and pretty much everything that we've discussed. If you're prepared with those certifications, with that degree, with that hands-on experience, that great resume and cover letter, then, you know, I think that you're going to be a shoo-in for whatever you want to do.
Yeah, patience is a big thing. I know with me, after graduating my undergrad, it took, I want to say 3 years, but I guess 8 months to really get a job other than serving people food or bartending. It took some time, and you know, you want to do something that you're interested in, and you want to do something that you went to school for, and sometimes it takes a little bit of time to figure that out. You don't necessarily want to take the first thing that comes across because it might not be the thing that's necessarily going to get you from point A to point B that you see in your future. And another thing, along with utilizing our services and being prepared and having a good resume and getting the certifications, is utilizing all the other resources at the school. You know, networking, talking to your instructors, going to networking events, coming to the career fairs, even as a student that might not graduate for 6 more months or 6 more terms, attending the next career fair and getting business cards and following up with those individuals and asking them questions. Because 9 times out of 10, any employer or any representative from a business is going to want to help. I mean, it's a lot easier to ask for help than it is to ask for a job. And a lot of times, if you keep asking some certain questions and say, hey, I got my A+ certification, what else do you think I should focus on? They're going to start thinking, like, you know what? This guy's really on the ball, really going that extra step, and then all of a sudden they're offering you a position out of nowhere. It's like, wow, that was pretty easy.
The last question that we have is, what do you consider more valuable, knowledge or experience?
I think that knowledge is, I certainly think that they're both very valuable, but I think that knowledge is probably going to take the cake. You can go into a company with 0 years of experience, but if you've got that knowledge, those certifications, that degree, that hands-on experience, then that's what's going to get you in the door. It's not going to necessarily be you having 5 years of experience, because that, at the end of the day, I think that the degree and everything that you've put into that is going to be what matters